There's a constant pressure in life to earn enough money to survive and to rest enough to function. For most people, that balance is hard. But when you live with a chronic illness, it can feel impossible. And I want to talk about a cycle I've been stuck in for most of my life.
Does anyone else feel this? That working is the very thing you need to survive, but also the thing that makes you more unwell?
Because that's been my reality for as long as I can remember.
I've been ill since I was very young. Even at 16, when I didn't need to support a household, I still tried to hold down a part-time job while studying and managing my health.
I didn't want to feel different. I didn't want to feel incapable. So I pushed myself.
As I got older, things became more complicated. Depending on the type of job, physical, office-based, hybrid I could usually manage full-time work for about 6 months. And then, my health would start to decline. Slowly at first, then noticeably, then painfully. That's when the cycle begins, taking sporadic sick days just to recover enough to go back in. Pushing through exhaustion, telling yourself just get through this week, until those sick days turn into long-term sick leave. And eventually, the job ends, and I'm back at square one again.
Working, for me, has become a real-life oxymoron. I need to work full-time to afford my house, food, travel, medical costs, EBM, just to exist.
But the more I work, the more unwell I become. And eventually, I can't work at all.
It feels like being trapped in a small but constant nightmare. You feel helpless, guilty for not being able to support yourself, guilty for letting your employer down. Anxious as your finances shrink, you stop being able to afford the food you need. You hesitate to put the heating on. Even small comforts feel out of reach. With my condition, I've found there's very little financial support available for someone in my position. That forces me into working full-time just to survive. Even when my body is telling me it can't cope. And over time, that wears you down mentally.
It can make you feel depressed, cynical. Sometimes I've even thought,
What's the point, Sem? I'm just going to end up unemployed again anyway. That's a hard place to sit with. Eventually, I realized it isn't about working less. It's about working differently. I did find a job that worked for me. Mostly from home, office-based, engaging work, an understanding employer, and a wage that let me support myself. And for 4 years, it worked. Then my role was made redundant. Suddenly, I was back at square one again, not because of my health this time, but because of circumstance. And since then, I've struggled to find the right kind of work again. Living alone, being the only source of income in a household, especially right now, is challenging for anyone. But when you can't manage to provide for yourself, and there's no one there to catch you, it can feel almost impossible. I do hope things will improve. But with Crohn's, even finding the energy to fight for yourself is hard. Especially when your own immune system feels like it's working against you. If you live with a chronic illness, I'd really like to know, how do you balance work, rest, and survival? Let me know in the comments. You're not alone in this.